Oh, but they're perfectly willing to say master because that's their. Oh, well, then we'll call you master instead. Oh, yes, learned master of the 45th chain of the Illuminati bioterrorism Nazi mind controllers. Uh, I've been studying them for the past 17 years of mind control torture. They tell me I was King David, St. Francis, Simon Peter, and Daniel. I'll say I don't know who God is. Just know you guys are Nazi bioterrorists. But this is their mind control torture. I just ran into a guy named Sensei. That was when they started on me 17 years ago. And they kept being a guy named Sensei talking to me right in front of me. They got callbacks, they got big files on the mind control torture. Well, they cooked out my brain. This is what they do to everybody. I used to care about a lot of people and a lot of things. They do their false flag wars and their fake news, and your child might die in school today, so they hammer your frontal cortex, your hope, your dreams, they make everything evil and bad. Evil bad messaging, bam, 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 and they hit your face. And they got their Freemason all-seeing eye symbols everywhere. I even got it on a weapon. Hey. Here. That's why they put the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the back of a dollar bill. That's why Donnie Trump can be seen sitting in their Club Lucifer with their Freemason checkerboard floor and stuff. One giant cult. Mostly they're normal people, but they do massive evil. The demon brain bug things tickle their brains that do an evil, and they say, "Oh, the evil is fun." Tickles their brainstem. They were on me again for bondage porn watching, but again, a strategic child molestation when I was 4 years old. I've backtracked it. I backtracked their songs. Listen to their songs a second time once I know that the songs aren't innocent. They put messages in songs for the secret club, or mostly I think for like the brainwashing, gang stalking for people who aren't in their secret club. Again, like Gloria Steinem was getting big on the whole whatchamacallit, feminist movement scene. But I guess maybe because she didn't talk about their CIA stuff or whatever, but she was a CIA agent for a little while. And then that song, like, the voices in your head, so they'll backfeed. They put their demon voices or their snake voices or whatever they are into your brain, and then they'll backfeed it, so like they put like a vain thought into your head, like, oh, everybody wants me, like, and like that chick was so freaking hot that I can imagine a lot of people would want her. But so like, if everybody wants you, and then you're like, wait, how did you know what I was thinking? But it's one of their demon god, whatever they are, implanted voices. It's not like people used to write love songs and people write happy songs and party songs, but they come along and they write their gang stalking songs. Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see, you belong to me. That's part of their torture technique. Their established omnipotence is one of the tenets of their mind control torture. Like, you make the victim think that you're God. and it's easy to do once they've like controlled your whole mind, and like they make sure like this person's a gang stalker here. I don't know, but yeah, they make sure everything you see is a message from them, so they become your whole reality. The mind control brain rapers. I'm pretty sure this guy's a gang stalker. I was logging out before. I just had a conversation with my friend at 7-Eleven like 4 hours ago. My mom's got maids coming to clean tomorrow, so she got me vacuuming. And I was like, that's the blue collar way. If you've got a maid coming over, you say, oh, we gotta clean the whole house, the maid's coming. But so that was a conversation I had, and then I was logging out of this game. So you sit there stuck logging out, so like your screen is just like frozen, and right as I'm logging out, Iron Maid goes running by my screen. Like to a normal person, it seems like coincidence, but they make sure it's every second of every day. And I'm sure that's what they're gonna do with their 5G mind control. That's what they did. COVID to mask 5G EMF poisoning. And they needed their 5G network for their AI mind control, mind reading, mind rape, but it's just a force multiplier for the demonic things. But it's also a good cover for the demonic things, since it makes it secular, so like new agents who get like if you found out you were working for a demon, you would probably stop immediately and like, wait a minute, here's some big religious warnings about this. But if you found out you were working for a demon, you stop immediately. So they make it secular, so it's just like, oh, this is just our AI mind control network. We're the elite and Illuminati, and we control everything. There is no such thing as a god, and we're just the special evil people. And then they impress their new insiders again. They always impress their new insiders. It was like, they're the people that ran slavery, but now they're doing, since their new insiders don't learn history, and they've made fun poppy party songs life, and nobody knows anything about the world. Like, they're the same people that ran slavery in the US for 400 years, but now they fake like police executions of black men just in time for presidential elections to distract you from presidential elections, so you don't pay any attention to what the bioterrorists are doing with the economy or what they're doing in geopolitics. They fake a black guy getting executed by cops, so they can tell their new insiders, oh, look, see, the black people, we care. We're the ones who social engineer justice to make sure police don't execute black men live on camera. But they were the ones writing Martin Luther King Jr. letters. We know you went to a prostitute. You're a person of low moral character. You should just do the right thing, and do the right thing is implicit suicide. You should kill yourself. And that was them just 70 years ago. So they're the special club triangle finger people. It's a giant cult that runs NATO. There were, again, 3 countries that opposed the COVID measures, and all 3 countries had a dead leader within the next year and a half. It was the Tanzanian prime minister who had a PhD in chemistry. Sent away COVID samples, and they all came back positive, but the samples he sent were from a car tire, a papaya, and something else, I forget what. And they all came back positive for COVID. Like, COVID was a real virus, it was a real bioweapon they did, but they did it to mask 5G EMF poisoning, because they would have had death clusters. Like, like say you got a new 5G tower here, there would be just a cluster of dead people around it, and a cluster of brain fog people around it. So they did COVID because they knew that was what was going to happen. So all that goes on. in the mind control torture chamber. The mind control torturers are a little quiet right now. Hey. Friona. Hey. I don't know. That was, when I was backtracking, like, how long they've been on me. It would have been a very obvious job for me to get a job at the pizza place around the corner delivering. And that was, whatchamacallit? That was Pizza Express. And my name is Philip John. So Philip J., who was fried from smoking a lot of weed, almost got a job at Pizza Express. It was like Futurama come to life. And I was very much more like Fry than... But anyway. Obsessed with a girl named Leela. I was backtracking, speaking of Leela obsession. When I was a young man, Leela said someone was beating my sister. Or my sister's boyfriend was hitting her. And I felt like it was a test. I felt like it was I mean, not at the time, but like looking back. At the time, I was like, well, what do you want me to do? Get a baseball bat? Like, what do you want from me? Is he still doing it? He's not doing it and she's away? Like, I was very merciful, very Christian in my forgiveness. Like, he's not doing it now, so it's probably some stupid kid doing stupid shit. But I wonder what the test was. I wonder, do you still kill people who are attacking women? I wonder what David's sin really was. Because I know they made sure, since I don't know, that they said anything, and they said, you saw her bathing on a roof. Her beauty overthrew you. And then that's again what they think, though. They think, like, I'm King David, I'm an outsider for that sin, and I got, like, I didn't know not to think that sins don't matter or something. Like, they're the special people who can commit any crime because they say God when they please. Hey, I don't know. Pretty fucked up, pretty bizarre. I can't put a finger on it, but all I have is what I've backtracked, learned from paying attention. I don't know who God is. Don't know how I got here. My mama had a baby and it was me. That's about all I know. I don't understand God, how there could be evil Nazi people and they do evil Nazi stuff, and then God made evil Nazi people. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm gonna hope on a lot of weird things, but I can't figure it out. But anyway, and all the Bible stuff gets backwritten 700 years later or whatever. So who knows what really went on. That's apparently most of the Old Testament was when King Josiah was king. Some priest went into the basement and said, look what I found. And that's how you got, like, most of the Old Testament. So who knows what's going on. Who knows. But they've been mind control torturing me for 17 years. Again, I was a happy atheist. Like, I was literally going to sit here and play like games like this my whole life. That was my big plan. I had enough money to... My dad worked real hard. Had enough money to do nothing for the rest of my life, as long as I keep my costs down to like a $12 a month subscription to this game and don't go out and don't do anything. I don't go on vacation or any... It was enough for me. Plus everything's exploitive, like all business is exploitive, so it would either be like work for exploiters or become exploitive to live, so there was like no good honest option for me. So I just sat here and played video games and watched the world go by, and I was very happy. And I used to like people, and I used to enjoy life. And then they came for me, and when they came for me, there was a man, a new relative who married into my family when I was 10 years old or 9 years old, something like that. I was just saying this the other day. I was just saying a new relative who married into my family when I was 9 or 10. And then I went to the supermarket, and the first song that was on the radio in the supermarket was, how's that song go? That shitty ass Seasons song. We were 9 or 10, something like that. But anyway, so that's how the mind control torture goes. Like, you say something and they backfeed it to you with their, I wouldn't say, for a while I was thinking, oh my god, they own all supermarkets, but like Stop and Shop bought out Pathmark, and maybe they just made sure that they own this local supermarket near me so that they could always pump in music while I'm shopping. That would be mind control attacks. This is why they made the movie The Matrix, I assume, because they knew they were going to attack me like that, so they could make it seem like, like, oh, is this then The Matrix that's true? I should react violently and fight you in the street? But The Matrix is a funny movie. The Matrix espouses asceticism, anti-materialism, and it was written by two guys who are now women, and they're worth $300 million. It's not exactly practicing what they preach. I was thinking about stoicism and asceticism today. It's not like it's not a virtue on its own. It's only a virtue in light of, if you live in a society that's exploitive, if you live in a society that's unjust or unfair. Otherwise, it's, like if you're gonna like build yourself a nice house and have like a waterfall or something, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you gotta have Chinese slaves to build everything and Mexican serfs to make all your clothing and Mexican serfs to make your eyeliner and American serfs to grow your food, then like asceticism becomes a virtue. In my mind. Since I'm lazy, since I don't want to do anything. Like, obviously if you're contributing to the to society, and the only problem is that you're paying taxes to bioterrorists. Like, you're funding bioterrorists. You're funding false flag war profiteers that will start the war with tax dollars, move the war along with tax dollars, but then collect 100% of profits from the war profiteering because their friends are in, their friends own BlackRock, Blackwater, Grumman, Northrop, blah blah blah. I mean, nothing against the Grumman. I don't know. Those are more traditional military institutions before all the false flag wars started. But you know what I'm saying. Like, they spend your money to get their wars going, and then they war profiteer off of it. Well, this is what the Nazi bioterrorists do. And they think that it's like good. They think, oh yeah, we made them hate them, and they're mean, and now nobody's friendly, and everybody's unpleasant and upset, and everybody's angry all the time. And this works. This is amazing. This is statecraft. But that's why they're Nazi bioterrorists, mind control, witchy people with the brain bugs in their own brains. I suppose. You shouldn't have to. Nobody should have to deal with imagining what happens when their kid's class gets shot up for the day, but there were 6 televised mass school shootings from Kent State until Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook was faked. But then Then Congress got together. Congress doesn't like to go to work. Like, Congress doesn't like to show up every day for work. But they got out of bed one day and said, hey, let's repeal a 70-year-old ban against domestic propaganda. And then once they did that, there was a 50,000% increase in televised school shootings. 50,000%. Like a crime wave. Like, it's like a hot summer and like people are more going out more, a little bit more irritated with being hot and sweaty. So like, a crime wave happens and crime goes up like 30%. That's a crime wave. A crime going up 50,000% is false flag war, profiteer, bioterrorists faking news to terrorize you, to make you nihilistic, make you, not plan for the future. That puts all plans in their hands. Give you no hope. Make you despair, gives their demonic gods an easier time getting into people's brains. Makes you more likely to take drugs or whatever and just say fuck it. Which also gives their whatever, again, I say demonic gods, I have no idea, whatever these brain bug things are. Whatever the brain snakes are. Gives them an easier time burrowing into people's brains. And that's what they do. That's what your government does. That's their triangle finger people. But that was my big problem, is they pushed me into religion by showing me demonic stuff, and I'm like, this does, it seems like Satan's supposed to be like God's equal basically, and it seemed very strange to me that like they just attacked me and then left me to live while they're killing so many people. So they knew that I would come up saying religious stuff, and I was like, oh, I just gotta trust what I know. Like, I see crimes, I see bad stuff. I don't know who God is. I ask God for help every night, but I'm also not doing like the more positive affirming things. I'm just doing just playing video games. My trouble is you see stuff like the more witchy stuff, more, like the only thing that good needs to prosper is for evil men to do nothing, but then like that puts evil on the head of like good people. It's like very often becomes just too big for like one person to handle, so like to put that kind of guilt onto somebody, it's like almost an operation of evil to do that. It's like, you're guilty because we were raping these people, like it just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense when you break it down to like a lower kind of, not a lower, but like a more easy to comprehend crime. But that's them. They're like, you can't stop us. We're bioterrorist Nazis. You gotta watch us be bioterrorist Nazis and destroy the world. And I'm like, I really got nothing for it. It's just like, you tell people, they're poisoning your babies, and people are like, stupid idiot. You tell people they're poisoning the sky, and people are like, you tinfoil. I mean, again, they front loaded that stuff with media. They made it all crazy conspiracy theorists, crazy conspiracy theorists, crazy conspiracy theorists, crazy conspiracy theorists, crazy conspiracy theorists think, and then people dismiss like immediately, like, you're one of them. That was when I first started looking at them, 2011, 2012. You'd be on YouTube and you watch a 9/11 truth video, and the first video after it would be a flat earth video. Like, they were loading people who just learned their government did 9/11 into thinking that the earth was flat. And they didn't need to, they didn't catch a lot of people. But all they need to do is point at the people they catch and say, those crazy 9/11 flat earth people. You know what the 9/11 flat earth people think. You know those crazy 9/11 flat earth people. And then you try and expose their stuff, and people have like an association in their mind. So they use heavily advanced psychology. Was just thinking for a second there. The flat Earth 9/11 people, blah blah blah. They did it somewhere else, and now I can't think of it. Well, they've been cooking my brain. They've been cooking my brain and torturing me for 17 years. Here, picture. What was that? Man, I can't think of it. Oh, well. But again, you can track them down in music. We fight for love. Like that's their. They fight for the opposite of love, but I guess the brain demons make them love each other or whatever. I don't know. And again, I shouldn't say brain demons, whatever. Free floating evil spirits, whatever they are. Leviathan or Ra or something. And the trouble is, like, again, like I came up noticing this stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, Jesus is saying that he's Lucifer? But the only point of reference I have for Lucifer is, like, that Lucifer TV show that came out, like, right in time for... And I'm like, wait a minute, is that an accurate representation? I don't know. Nothing makes any sense to me. Can't figure it out. I feel like I've already, it's either good as one or evil as one, and I really, whatever this war has been going on for who knows how long, whatever the origins of it are, I don't know. I do not know. Nobody tells me anything. But anyway, what was I thinking on the flat Earth thing? Oh yeah. The Q shaman. They had the Q shaman saying exactly what they do to conspire. Like, it didn't get a lot of play, but the Q shaman was talking conspiracy and talking about, like, I mean, obviously he didn't say he was involved in a false flag, but he was saying what they do dressed as the Q shaman. So, like, if you know they conspire, you show that to your friend. See, I was right. Look, he's saying it exactly. And then your friend is like, oh my god, you listen. This is where you get this stuff from? You listen to this guy? No wonder you're crazy. Like, that's the kind of 160 IQ psychological warfare games that the Harvard, Yale graduates, the Skull and Bones people play. What was it? Oh yeah, the Q shaman, just like QAnon. Like, QAnon was the same sort of thing. QAnon was when you know they conspire, you've got a healthy Hollywood upbringing, and you're like, oh, the white hats are gonna show up, the good guys will show up. Oh, QAnon is exposing it. It's like, if you know, then you start sharing that stuff. You're like, oh, look, see, these guys are saying that. So it's just like proof that if you're preaching to the choir, only the choir is going to possibly, like, anybody who doesn't know they conspire is going to see that and be like, you're listening to these cracked out haikus. Those are the advanced psychological warfare maneuvers they do. Crazy but true. Hey, I got my one. I bite my tongue saying, I know he's a gang stalker, but I'm only 99.9% sure he's a gang stalker, so I don't want to say his name. Hey, but I got my other two gang stalkers that I know are gang stalkers. I was complaining they were making World of Warcraft solo shuffles supposed to be random 3v3. Like, you just get a random group of people on your team. But they were making it into 5v1. So I was complaining they were making it into 5v1. Like, there'd be two guys on my team that were on the, were them. and three guys on the other team that were them. And so I was complaining they were making it 5v1, and I go for a walk one night, and I walk by my neighbor's house, 1 a.m., and he says to the air, "Enjoying the 5v1?" They make sure that's a terrible Middle Eastern accent. That was more of like a Indian accent, but for some reason they only send the Middle Eastern gang stalkers on me like that, against me, like that's supposed to create an impression in my mind. Like I know you're all stuffy old white guys organizing this stuff. I mean, they got young people now too, but like I'm not confused about the fact that the guy that, like, I know it's CIA, NSA, Freemason, Nazis. Like, I'm not confused that the guy down the block that ran my car for them is Middle Eastern. Oh, it's these Middle Easterners. But that's what they like. They like you guys fight each other, divide and like again with the fake police shooting. Like, they happily throw us against police with all their fake police shootings, while also running Fox News and saying, "Oh yeah, you gotta support our police and support law enforcement," while they're sending people to, like, rightfully so, not knowing the layer of that they fake all news, and try and aim, like, rightfully so, that you should be mad that, like, cops would be executing somebody. But it just doesn't happen to the degree that, like, there is racist justice going on, but I think it's a lot less in 2026 than it was back when their club had more control over controlling people with racism in, like, the 50s and 60s and 1950s, 1960s. But the snake changes to keep power, I guess. Whatever like level that people raise their consciousness to, the snake's gotta get like one layer higher to keep control. The back writing they do. Like, my whole life there was never any Indians were cannibals stuff, but like when people are starting to look at more things, and like one of the big glaring like, how could Freemasons possibly answer for this, would be how they treated Native Americans. But then they started pumping, oh, the Native Americans were cannibals. Like, they were like, is it 12,000 or 1,200 Native American tribes? I forget. But like one went cannibal fighting out of, like, Aztec Mexico like 900 years ago. And the rest weren't cannibals. But they needed their reason for their injustice. They needed their reason for their crimes. They needed their reason for stealing land and breaking treaties, and stealing land and breaking treaties. So they just say that, and people accept it and be like, oh, okay, they were cannibals. Oh, it was a good kill on our part. Hey, we deserve to. This is their thing with Law and Order, is they do injustice, then they move in with law and order, and it's the opposite of actual justice. It's the opposite of actual goodness. They establish injustice and have their safe wars there. Oh, they've got AK-47s? Okay. We're safe now. Go in with our Apache helicopters and our AC-130 gunships and our bombs and our logistical superiority and our Humvees and our Abrams and our... We won the war! It's literally like an NFL player beating up like a kindergarten class and being like, I was right and I won! Like, how many of their 15 million Iraqi victims never did like one evil thing in their life? Anyway, that's the cults. That's the Freemason Nazis that run the planet. They get strangely quiet tonight. Like, usually it's just them talking to them in this chat with their mind control names, with their witchy names, with their Nazi names. Now all of a sudden they shut up. They do establish new mind control names. That's where I was talking about the devil horn hand sign. And I'm like, it's just arbitrary. It's just whatever the demon, whatever things are that puppeteer them, have them posing in that. Like, it doesn't mean that they did it 500 years ago, or it doesn't mean that they're going to do it 5 years from now, but it's what they're doing right now. But it's just arbitrary. It's just something they chose to, for whatever reasons, as a force multiplier, because people mime stuff as a signal to insiders. I have no idea, but yeah, I was talking about that and saying like that stuff's arbitrary. And I said it might as well be the surfer hang loose hand sign. And then I went to the supermarket, and there was a guy with a surfer hang loose hand sign, but it was NWO surfer hang loose. So like the knuckles were like the middle peaks of the W, and it said N. So it was like N hang loose sign. There's a big N, and then a hang loose sign, and then O. And he just walking in front of me with his just walking in front of me with that symbol on the back of his shirt, on his phone. Just like I'd walk here and he'd walk in front of me, and I'd walk here and he'd walk in front of me, I'd walk here and he'd walk in front of me. So it was like one day I was talking about that, and then the next day in the supermarket he's just in front of me, in front of me, in front of me, in front of me. That's their gang stalking. I think, I don't know, I mean, this is my impression from the mind control stuff. It seems like the brain snake thing is electronic, so it seems like they're rebuilding it with their 5G AI mind control towers and stuff. If you're worried about that stuff, you get a Faraday cage for your bed. Kinda works a little bit, but I mean, it's everywhere, so. But that's what your government's doing. That's what the Nazi bioterrorists that took over the planet are doing. But I worry that this is why I don't want to talk religion, because they attacked me with demonic stuff, and I instantly was like, oh, then the Jesus stuff. But then I read the Jesus stuff, and Jesus tortures prostitutes, and I'm like, I can't. That's not the impression that I had gotten. Like in the Gospels, he's casting out demons and healing people, casting out demons and healing people, casting out demons and healing people. And then in the book of Revelation, he's like sending disease and plague and torturing prostitutes. I'm like, those are two different people. What are you gonna do? Like, I mean, I get people change, but like, people should change for the better. If that's, most people grow and change for the better. That seems like a change for the worse to me. I don't know. I have no cosmic understanding of my other trouble with all the religious stuff is like, tortured people react violently, tortured people react poorly. So I can't even like justify in a war and be like, well, okay, these people look ugly. Well, you're gonna look ugly when you're, you know. So I can't make any sense of it. I cannot make any sense of it. By their fruits, I see a lot of people with a lot of convenient lives having a lot of convenient things and being friendly. And then the more downtrodden people, like, they don't look like the Blessed Four. They look downtrodden. So it makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, all that goes on. And they assassinated. Like, the list of people that I know that they assassinated: Pat Tillman, Taryn Cheeky, Beverly Eckert, Bill Cooper, Gary Webb, those cancer doctors. This is again like I'm literally in their backyard. I live on Long Island. It's like not like NATO can't find me. They just want to torture me. It makes no sense to me. It makes no. I was so sure they were gonna kill me dead 17 years ago when they showed up. I was like, oh, I'm dead. I gotta go die alone in the street. Bye, mom and dad. I'm off. I don't want them to hurt my family or my friends, so I left. And I figured it was the first day on the road. Or was it the second day? I forget. I think no, it was the first day on the road when I got a motel room and I like laughed to myself about locking the door. So I knew full well, oh shit, this is NATO. This is government stuff. Like this is these men are gang stalking me. I'm like locking the door is a joke. But they didn't. They made plenty of death threats. But they prefer their sexual taunt. We know you watched pornography. This is the lowest sort of character. Do the right thing and kill yourself. I feel bad making this video with their Freemason hen symbols thing on my character, but it was just the best item that I found for this guy. Yeah, I feel better unequipping it. But oh, there's some when they attacked me. So you want to play with magic? Like I was playing World of Warcraft, and to them that's playing with magic. Like I was never confused. Like this is a whole bunch of binary ones and zeros and just fantasy stuff. But like that's the level that evil goes to. Oh, you're playing with magic? You've got a magician and he's got a mage pet? Like, no, I was playing a video game. It's not the same thing as you guys murder somebody and then you get into a special club and then you get quote-unquote magical powers, which, like, there's obviously no such thing as magic, but if you're confused, like, it's gotta be, like, the magic user waves his hands and he does, I'm casting magic, I'm casting magic, and then the demonic thing does something, and then they see it works, and they're like, oh, I have magical powers. Like, I assume that's what, like, magic stuff is. Hey. But anyway, this is just my very practical study of these things. But yeah, that's been going on for 17 years now. Mind control torture at the hands of the bioterrorists, and again, longer than 17 years. When I was 4 years old, somebody decided to molest my neighbor girl so that she would learn bondage games and show me. When I was 8 years old, somebody decided they had to bring me hardcore porn. When I was 10 years old, 9 years old, something like that, they had a dude marry into my family. And my sister's birthday was Halloween. And they made sure that dude marrying her's birthday, I'm sure his birthday wasn't really Halloween, but you know. I mean, maybe it was. I guess they have, because like, he has family members that I'm sure aren't part of their cabal, but I could be wrong, but so maybe it really is his birthday, but you know, like they just made like a simple, like, oh, it's Kismet. This was meant to be. That's their witchy stuff. So all that goes on. And again, nothing against Katy Perry or anything. Like young girl got indoctrinated by their cult. Like she's as low on the rungs as possible. Like like if you grew up in the Midwest with like, you know, farmer family friends and whatever, and like the Christian people are like the mean, cruel people, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, Satan. I worship Satan. Like, it's not a, like she doesn't know anything about torturing puppy dogs or bioterrorism. She just thinks she's singing songs that are happy. So anyway, my trouble is demonic stuff is never gonna come. Like, if they're putting up whatever symbol or whatever, like it's demonic stuff. So how can you trust what demons are saying about themselves? This is where I find it impossible to track it down. But anyway, if there are really demons, if it's not just like evil spirits or something that crash landed in the ocean, or I don't know. I don't know. God's people sinning, who knows? Not them, I mean, like some kind of spiritual, or just fallout from like really bad times, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. But somehow this is reality, like somehow there's armies of people that make it their day to torture. I was, like, I can't tell my own thoughts from the mind control torture thoughts very often, but so it was like the wrong answer was flashing into my mind, and then the news just like at the end of news broadcasts, it's been wrong answer, like a chorus of them saying wrong answer. Because I mean they're just talking heads, they're just told what to say, but that goes on. Evil stuff goes on. But this is what I hate, that I have to make concessions to their stupidity. Like my guys got better stats when I equip this thing in a video game, but it's got like one of their symbols on it, so I don't want to use it. It's just like, ugh. Like, I know it's bullshit, but I mean, obviously the demonic stuff's real, but I know like the symbols are just arbitrary, and like I know that's bullshit, but at the same time I don't want to like be talking about this stuff while I'm holding that thing, because it's just like, anyway, wouldn't want to confuse anybody. Well, this is where I wonder about God and wonder about the God stuff, and where the Old Testament says like, you'll say your idols told you. God being snide, I guess, I don't know. But like when I watch like things that attack religion, like podcasts talk about like, oh, there's slavery in the Bible. How can you believe in this? And like I have big trouble. I'm like, yeah, that is kind of fucked. But again, someone disappeared into a basement and said this is what God said, blah blah blah. But like, it'll be a guy in a studio with a microphone made in China, on a computer made in China, with food made by, clothing made by, like, like, his job is literally to sit in a room and talk, like, ultimate luxury. And it's fed by, the basically wage slave labor of Chinese people, Mexican people, and Argentinian people, and wherever there's economic disparity that we exploit. And biblical slavery was, like I heard a rabbi say, it was, if there was one pillow in the house, like the custom was that the slave got the pillow. Like the slave was basically like someone that went out into a field and worked alongside you. So it wasn't really like modern slavery. But anyway, I can't. I got no handle on any of it. None of it makes any sense to me. Hey. Well, this is literally what my life plans were. We just sit here and play video games. It's they showed up and made me fight back, and now I'm like, I shouldn't. I have no context for any of this. It's like men attacking me, so I fight back and say things that, and then they love like the attack to get you to say something while you're angry, so they can use that against you later. And that's where I trust Bible stuff. That's where it's like, you who trap someone in a word, like, oh, you said, now it's so, you said, you said, you said, you said, you said. Who knows? Anyway, all that goes on.